What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tony Michelle, and basically we are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here on this channel, so please keep that in mind. And welcome to the August 2020 video for all signs. This will resonate with everybody as a collective, no matter what sign you are, or what moon sign you are, or what rising sign you are. I am working on the August videos, so those will be coming out within the next week, hopefully early, hopefully before August for once, okay? Yeah, let's get into it. It is Leo season. If you haven't noticed, or if you didn't know, yeah, so it's Leo season, and this Leo season is going to be interesting. There's a lot going on. There's actually not a lot going on. I just lied. I'm sorry. But there is some things going on that are a big deal. So that's what we're going to talk about. So what I want to talk about is the moon cycles first. Up until this point, we have been having a new moon in the beginning of the season of the sign that we're in. So like the beginning of Cancer season, we had a Cancer new moon. And then towards the end of the season, we have the full moon in the opposite sign of the sign that we're in, the sign that the sun's in. So we had a Capricorn full moon. Last month was eclipse season, so you probably had a lot of things coming to a culmination point, a lot of big faded karmic energy, cycles, patterns, all of that jazz closing up in your life. You may have had a lot of challenges, a lot of issues. Saturn is back in Capricorn, and so it can just feel, last month was very heavy, very karmic. There's a lot of shit going down. And yeah, you may have had a lot of challenges come up in your life because we were in cardinal signs, and cardinal signs are the initiators. So they initiate change and they bring in big change in big parts of our lives. So if that was you, if you had a crazy eclipse season, I think a lot of people did. So that was probably why. But now, because we had a second Cancer new moon at the end of Cancer season, the cycles have changed. So now the first moon event that we will have in Leo season is going to be a full moon instead of a new moon. And it's going to be a full moon in Leo's opposite sign. Full moon is always in the opposite sign of the sun. It's going to be in the sign of Aquarius. And this is going to happen on August 3rd, give or take a day, depending on where you are in the world. And this Aquarius full moon is going to be wild, like fucking wild. This Aquarius full moon is going to square Uranus in Taurus, okay? And Uranus is the planet of eccentricity. It is the planet of, like, basically I think of Uranus as like a lightning bolt. So this full moon could bring a lot of like shocking, unexpected twists, turns, curveballs into our life. I think it could even be, to be honest with you, a little bit of a crisis for some people, because what's also happening at the exact time of this full moon is Mercury in Cancer. And Mercury is our communication, it is messages, it is our social life, and all of that jazz is going to be directly opposite Saturn in Capricorn. And so these two planets are going to be opposing each other, which is basically like this versus this. It's like a face-off. So we are going to be feeling like things are taking a turn. Things are taking a twist that we maybe didn't see coming. But Uranus is very unpredictable. So and when I say that, sometimes it's like nothing happens even though Uranus is like heavily involved, or a lot of things happen. And Uranus is like that game changer kind of energy where it's like something random out of the blue that you didn't see coming that just happens, and it's like boom, and you're just like, what the hell? That's Uranus. It's kind of like maybe you've been with someone, or you've had a best friend for like 20 years, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm gonna move out to become an Eskimo or something, just like out of the blue, like out of nowhere, and you're like, what? That's kind of like Uranus. This new moon to me looks like it's going to possibly feel like we just can't take anymore, where there's been something that we've been doing for the good of other people, or something along those lines, where we're going to be in this kind of like face-off moment, this moment of being torn between doing what's good for us and living out our own individual lives, or with doing what's good for others and doing what's good for the bigger picture, basically. And so with the Saturn opposite Mercury, this could look like maybe some kind of like heavy news that comes in, or some kind of new responsibility or new burden that kind of shows up. This could also be some kind of disagreement, some kind of rejection, denial, something along those lines. But whatever it is, it can kind of throw like a curveball in our situation. This could also be, because we're dealing with Cancer and Capricorn, some kind of difficulty within the family, the home life, the needs, something like that. So you do want to watch out for those things around the 3rd. But the good news is we have the Leo new moon happening on the 18th towards the end of the month. Mercury is going to be with this new moon, and this new moon is going to be trining Mars. So I do believe around the 18th, about a week before or 2 weeks after, somewhere around that time, mid to end month, things are going to start looking up. We're going to start feeling a little bit more hopeful, and it's aspecting Mars, so it kind of brings hope. It kind of brings hope to the Mars heaviness, the Mars battle with the Capricorn energy that we're about to be going through for the rest of the year. That's about to start happening the end of August. It's kind of bringing hope to that. It's kind of lighting a match, like lighting some kind of passion or initiative within us to move forward. So I think whatever happens the beginning of August, it could feel very shaky, uncertain, unstable, is going to kind of get cleaned up and have a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of options, optimism, positivity, whatever by the end of the month. This could be some kind of news, great good news coming in after the bad news. So keep that in mind. If the beginning of your month in August feels very shaky, uncertain, unstable, or if something happens out of the blue that really throws like a wrench in something that you were hoping for or planning on, it happened for a reason that you're not going to be able to see right away until the end of the month. Something's going to get cleared up there. I really do believe that. That is how I'm reading this energy for this month at least. Anyway, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is Mars in Aries. So like I've been talking about for a while now, this is going to be the big ass shit show of the rest of the year. So the first part of the year, the shit show was all the stuff in Capricorn, and that's what I truly believed had a lot to do with the pandemic. But the second half of the year is going to be like its own show, its own like battle in some ways, with Mars and Aries squaring off with the stellium that we have in Capricorn of Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn for literally like the rest of the year on and off. Okay, so this is going to be a big deal because Mars is going retrograde next month in September. So wherever you have Aries and Capricorn, these two places in your chart are going to be under a lot of pressure. It's going to be like something is really fighting with the other part of that area of life. And we're going to talk more in detail about this in the upcoming sign readings that are coming, like I said, for your particular sign, so you can know what the fuck is up. And I did also talk about this in my 2020 predictions for each zodiac sign, which will be linked in the description below if you haven't seen that and you want to check it out. So anyways, yeah, so with that Mars square happening towards the end of this month, we're going to start seeing a lot of fighting, battling, burdens, wanting to really push forward and persevere with something, but also feeling like we're hitting brick walls. Mars-Saturn energy sucks. I actually have this squared in my chart. It doesn't give one a lot of endurance, a lot of perseverance. It can make us feel like we want to give up easy because everything that we try at, it just feels like we're just constantly slamming our heads against brick walls and then nothing's working. So Saturn can really restrict that Mars energy, that Mars motivation, that Mars potential. Mars wants to just go and get things done. It wants to blaze trails. And Saturn's like, wait, we need to do this responsibly. We need to do this the right way. So it's going to delay things. It's going to set things back. It's going to have us like checking ourselves and making sure that we're coloring inside the lines and that we're doing it in a stable, secure way that follows the rules and the boundaries. And so it can basically feel like you are trying, like you're in a motorboat trying to go, but you have like an anchor, like your anchor's down and you're not really going anywhere. So that's kind of what it can feel like, honestly. So that's going to be starting to happen. We're going to be starting to feel that energy in August. So it's very important that you pay attention this month in August, especially like the beginning of August, because Mars is about to enter shadow. And so when Mars enters shadow, it's going to be going over the steps in Aries where it's going to retrograde at, so where it's going to go back over. So right now it's about to start going over the area of Aries that it's going to go back over. So whatever goes on in your life right now is going to be revisited in some way, so we can make sure that we are doing it right, that we are doing it slowly, and that we are doing it in a way that's going to make us stronger and give us more security and structure, rather than a way that's just gonna not give us anything. So I think, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, with the Mars retrograde, Saturn is really making sure, this Saturn square especially, is really making sure that we're doing it in a right way. But with Mars square Jupiter and Pluto as well, this can bring a lot of chaos, crisis, destruction, fighting. So we may see a lot of craziness happening in the world again for the next half of the year, to be quite honest with you. We're going to see a lot of people standing up to the government or those in power, people in power. I do still plan to do my rest of 2020 video. I actually filmed it, but I didn't end up liking it. And I think I also feel like I left some things out that I forgot to mention. So I'm probably going to redo that here soon. So yeah, Mercury is going to be in Leo starting August 4th. This is going to make us really want to stand out and be seen for what we're saying, right? Because Mercury's been getting hit hard from Mars and Cancer for July, basically. So we've been having a lot of tension, taking things personally. Our minds have been very busy. We've been feeling very emotional. We've been feeling very like our needs aren't being met, and like maybe we're blaming other people. We're having a lot of frustrations with family and the people close to us in our personal life. And it can just feel like, you know, it's like pushing us to kind of stand up for ourselves, but to do it in a way that's going to allow an emotional release, instead of doing it in an impulsive way that could end up being harmful to other people. So it's kind of we've kind of been finding that balance. So once Mercury moves into Leo, it's like, I'm here, bitch. I just showed up to the party, and I want to say what I want to say, and I want to do what I want to do. We're going to be really focused on really wanting to socialize and express ourselves. That's what Leo and Mercury are all kind of about in a way. We're going to be wanting to express our passions, our creativity, who we are, how we look, all of that kind of thing. But it is Leo season, so we do need to watch out for ego and pride and like, I'm better and this, that, and the other. And I know it's such a overused thing with ego and Leos, but like, it is true, because Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is the brightest star in the sky. But the lower vibration of that is, people need to serve me because I'm a Leo, and they need to appreciate, and I need to be better, and this, that, and the other. So that's where we kind of have to be careful, because we may get a little bit too fixated on certain ways that we want to appear, validation that we want to have from people. And it could get a little bit like, I don't know, it could end up like burning us out and not meeting our expectations, and then end up like humbling us in that way, which obviously isn't going to be fun, but maybe is needed for some people. So that's kind of like Mercury and Leo. So August 7th, we have Venus in Cancer, which is finally ending the Venus retrograde in Gemini season. Finally. Okay, so Venus in Cancer. Now that we have Mercury out of Cancer, we got more Cancer energy, unfortunately. Not that Cancer is a bad sign, but when planets transit through Cancer, for me personally as well, because my South Node in 12th house is in Cancer, so it's a bitch this time of year for me normally. But basically, Venus in Cancer is going to be very much about self-care, addressing our needs, especially addressing our needs within relationship and family dynamics. Really paying attention to those sorts of things. Maybe even taking things a little bit too personally in relationships, or having issues with, you know, contracts. There could be a lot of people maybe looking to move, renovate, do things differently in their home in some way. So that's another thing that could get brought up with Venus and Cancer. On August 15th, we have Uranus retrograde. So mid-month, Uranus is going to go retrograde. When Uranus goes retrograde, which happens for like basically the next few months, so this is going to be kind of like a longer cycle. So it's not, you may not notice it like boom right when it goes retrograde, but you're going to start noticing this need for freedom, this need for liberation, this need to break free of something, to awaken from something. So where in your life do you feel like you aren't getting what you need, or you're not getting your values, or where in your life do you now feel is uncompatible with you to some extent. Uranus is going to help you kind of have breakthroughs in those areas. It's going to help you liberate yourself. It's going to help you do the things, shake free of the things that you need to shake free from. Depending on what it's aspecting and where it's at in your chart as well is going to make a big deal. But this is happening in the sign of Taurus, so wherever you have Taurus in your chart. This is also going to be aspecting Leo. This is going to be aspecting Scorpio. This is going to be aspecting Aquarius. And this is going to be aspecting, yeah, that's it, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So all of the fixed signs. So yeah, like we're going to, need to break free of some areas of our life. This, for a lot of people, this could be about money, and over the next few months we could see some kind of rebellion against capitalism, against old ways of doing things for money or food or something along those lines. Uranus is really trying to get us to, it's really trying to liberate us from the old ways of dealing with money and possessions, what we're worth, the old ideas of what somebody is worth based on what they have to offer. Uranus is trying to modernize those things. The economy, all of these things, Uranus is really trying to start some kind of revolution and to rebel against those normal ideas and those normal ways of doing things. So we're going to start seeing some kind of theme there with getting out of old ways of doing things with money, possessions, and what we have and what we gain from the earth, the material world. On August 22nd, the sun will move into Virgo, and we will talk more about that in the September video. And that is basically it for the Leo season all signs video. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that this is a good month. Definitely let me know down below if you relate to this video at all already, or if you could see yourself relating to some things in this video and how these moon events go for you. So yeah, definitely make sure to come back after that, especially after that first full moon in Aquarius. I would love to know your experiences, if you felt anything, if you didn't. Like I said, Uranus is very unpredictable. So anyways, I will see you guys in the sign videos. Thank you so much for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. Bye.